I'm good.
Welcome back, guys. 5 rounds again with season 2, by the way. We're still keeping it going. And let me introduce everyone. This is Wentali, top right. I don't know what it is. And then we have Patrick over there. What's good, Patrick?
I'm
looking
good,
fresh.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good, thank you.
And then we have OV2 Nice, a loud one on the podcast. And then we have Patso down there. How are you?
All
It was
good,
a sunny
man.
day today, so it's a good day to do a podcast as well. So today's topic, guys, is very interesting. If you guys like it, please don't forget to put your comments in the comment section. We'll be active to get back to you and everything. So the topic today is, does religion thrive through fear or faith? So basically, it's sensitive. It's a very sensitive topic because it's an open book as well. So don't be just open up on what you experience and what you see out there in the world. You know, there's a lot of fear happening, and then there's a lot of churches there using fear and stuff. So anyway, I will start with OV2 Nice. I'm just gonna be random now. So we'll start with OV2 Nice. So basically, the question is, Ovida, like I said, does religion thrive through fear or faith?
I think it's fear at this stage. Look, I grew up in. I don't get me wrong. I don't believe in a religion. Okay, I believe in God. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I don't believe in a religion. I don't believe in any religion that will come up because it's all rubbish that I'm seeing in this day and age. When I was a little child, I believed in a religion. And because that's how I was raised. That's how they raised me. They raised me that this religion that I bring you, this church that I bring you into, is the right church. And I grew up with that mentality. But until when I grew up to my own understanding and with my own views, I kind of look at it like, you've been telling me crap this whole time. It's not a religion that is gonna make a better person of me. It's what I believe in. So religion only comes in and gives you fear. They'll come and tell you this is this way, this is that way, this is that way. It's just something like there's not a story where he's not trying to scare the shit out of you. Like everything has to come to an end where it's, or if you don't do that, like the way this guy did it, you're gonna die. And when you're gonna die,
churches trying to keep the people in check.
Yeah, they want to keep people in check. Using religion, you know what I mean?
To tell you to put you in line and stuff.
Yeah, but like, can I not go and say, look, believe in God, and without the ending of saying, if you ain't gonna do that, you're gonna die, and when you're gonna die, you're going to hell.
And then you're going to hell.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, why does it all have to end into that? Make you like, do you know? As I say, there's no respect. There's no real respect on something when you using fear.
Mm-hmm.
If you use fear trying to get respect from someone, it's the worst. It's the wrong respect you're getting because
people don't respect you. They fear you.
Yeah, they fear you. They don't respect you. They're just afraid of you. But the day that person has got enough guts to overcome that fear, that's it. It means it's gone.
He will lose respect of you as well.
Yeah, they're gonna respect of it. You know what I mean? So I think religion and it's striving over fear and fear and fear. And today and age, when it's just ridiculous, when you see all these religions now and the type of fear that are giving to people, there's not much strongest fear that are giving to people than you ain't gonna have money. You're not gonna survive. That's the biggest fear that most of these I don't know, whatever you call them these days. Yeah, they're just using the cult, whatever. You know what I mean? Like everything is all about when they go in there. Oh, if you come to this church, you pray with us, you get successful. You're gonna have money. You're gonna buy a car. You're gonna have a good job. It's putting fear that if you don't follow this church, you're not gonna survive. You're not gonna have food to put on the table. You know what I mean? I think it has turned into the time I was going to church, you're not going to church to say that if I go to church, I'm going to have money tomorrow. You're going to church because you say, I want to praise the Lord. You know, but now I'm going to because my pastor says if I go there and give, let's say, tithe in the next month, I'm going to have double that money. And that's the only reason everybody now is like, people have even forgotten the fact of praying for good health, praying to be happy. You know, everyone is just saying praying to be successful. That's how they're using it. You've seen this on television, especially where we come from in Africa. You see people walk into a church and they say, oh yeah, everybody come out here and bring your CVs, and I'm going to pray for your CVs, and your CVs are going to be dangerous. You're telling me there's 3,000 people CVs, you pray for them, and everybody's going to get a job, a good job. You know what I mean? It's a fear of, I'm going to not survive.
Yeah, that's true. As in, just to touch on what you said, Ovita, as in, a lot of priests have turned churches into a business as well. You know, they're scaring people into so they can give them stuff. You know, how can, for example, like you touched on, bring your CVs or pray over them when you all get jobs, and they're selling the wrong faith into people. Teach the good news, and you're teaching news of fear in people's hearts in order to take advantage of them. You know, to navigate them to your own will, you know what I mean? So it's something that's in the problem, mainly and also in Africa as well, mostly in Africa, because, you know, Africa is a poor country. We're not teaching people how to make money, but you're teaching people that there is, once you pray, money will magically appear on you in your bank account, which until now it still happens. People will pray until they'll sweat and will start crying. Hey, money in my account, money in my account. But it's something that we don't teach people how to really teach. I'll give an example of a pastor who actually teaches how people can make money. Go to school, study, work, start a business, pray so God gives you the knowledge to start a business and how to do it. You know what I mean? Pray for the right things. Don't just go to the church and just believe money will magically go into your account, and that's something that's a problem as well. And then anyway, let me just cut myself short there and I'll throw it to Patrick over there. What do you think is the main problem of this this religion thing?
Hold on a minute.
Oh yeah, let's go back. Go on.
Hold on a minute before Patrick speaks.
Yeah.
So answer the question: is religion driven by fear or faith? What you answer the question.
I would say it's both. In order for you to fear somebody, you have to have faith in them. You know what I mean? Faith is believing something is there while it's not there. So when you're putting fear into it, you're putting fear like, oh, if you do this, I'm going to beat you up. You know what I mean? Just for example, the person hasn't already done it yet, but you believe you do something, it's going to happen. So they use that to manipulate people. So I think, yeah, it does actually. So that's my answer.
Very good point. Very good point.
We'll throw it to you, Patrick, then. What do you think?
First of all, I would like to say this to all of you. Ovita, you're going to hell. Pray to hell. How dare you? I refuse. No, how dare you come here and say that? Seriously, our faith. You seriously?
No, let me clarify. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I am not in a religion, but I believe in Jesus Christ. So a religion sets rules in life. Go to church, do this. Those are rules. If you don't do this, you do this. They don't teach accept Christ and be saved. They only teach, if you don't, just basically a set of rules. Christ came down. I don't want to get into the whole.
What sort of churches are you going to, man? I love the church. I used to love the church. Obviously now I'm Muslim, but I used to love the church. I used to go in there with my two-piece suit, enjoy myself, throw in the tithes. You know, you go to church, you go on Sunday, you pray. It brings unity. It brings unity. Like
it does.
You know what?
It does bring unity. But for example, I speak in one of the churches I was in Malawi. It was like a routine. Wake up Sunday, you go there, they'll play the same music. It was boring. We were forced to go there. I was not enjoying it. You know what I mean? So we're not teaching. I'm being serious. But once I went into this other church where when I go there, when I feel the pastor speak, I feel like he's speaking about me. And then he's telling me good news and how to come above something. I don't want to go to church and put fear in my heart. So when I sleep at night, I drank last night, I think I'm going to hell. No, teach people how to get over that. You know what I mean? Don't put fear in people's hearts. And then, you know, when there was this point, you know, go to church. If I don't put money on the plate there, I feel like I'll be broke for the rest of my life because I didn't put money on the plate, you know?
Oh, but who told you that? Like, look, I get what you guys are saying, but I loved going to church, man. I used to make a budget that I'm going to throw this into the tithe. I make a budget for that. So I'm not going to be broke at the end, but I'm pretty sure maybe we are not just talking about all the churches, as you're right. Other churches,
certain churches. That's why I said, like, when I went to the other church, that's when I knew how to serve Christ properly. They navigated me into the right road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me just go back to topic. You know, enough jokes. I think I'm going to be on the opposite side. I don't think it's fear. I think it's faith. I'm just going to explain to you why. I think these things have been programmed in us so much at the point where it's no longer fear, it's actually become faith. People actually believe it. You know, when they say that if somebody keeps telling you a lie, or you keep telling yourself a lie until it becomes true. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I was one of those kids, and I'm still one of those people who sits down and say, when somebody says, "Oh, you're going to hell," or "God is up there," I used to ask the questions to the pastors, like, "Where exactly is he? Please, can you point him out? Like, where is he when my auntie died? Where is God when my grandmother died? Where was God when my dad was struggling? Where was God when we had no money?" You see what I mean? So I asked those questions from the beginning, but I still love to go to church, and I still love to go worship, because yes, I might have questions, but I still have that faith. But I believe these days, people believe in faith. Every Christianity right now is faith. As you can mention, some people sit down, keep on saying money in my bank. Man, that's faith. That's not fear anymore.
But we're talking about religion in general.
Yeah, that's what I keep. I mean, like, religion it's actually faith now, because it's reached to the point where it's faith. Because if you talk to somebody who belongs to certain churches and you tell them that, oh, that holy water you're drinking every week will make you sick, even though they're going to the toilet, they'll say, no, I have the faith in this. So I think it's depicted on faith. Yes, that faith we have to actually sit down and say, is that faith the right faith or the bad faith? That's what I can think about. But right now, believe it or not, majority of the time is faith. You are not stepping into that church without faith. Like, let me give you an example. If you go back to Malawi and it's Sunday, are you not going to step into church when your mom says, let's go to church?
It depends where you're coming from as well. You know what I mean? Your mom says, you know, you had a night out last night. And then you wake up in the morning and go to church. You're like, hey, you'd have to be in church. I did something bad. Because you fear the fear of going into hell.
Is a night out bad? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, concerning to Malawi, most Malawian churches that I've been through, they always talk about, if you drink, you go to hell. If you smoke, you go to hell. If you do this, you're a sinner. Dude, there's so many churches in Malawi. The one that I said I changed because of that same thing. Always bad news. Always pointing out.
Fear.
Using fear instead of teaching the good news.
But it can also be faith. It's not always fear. You believe in something, and if you believe in it, you obviously act in that way. That's what faith is. You keep bringing in fear, but that's all I can say. Look, I'm not going to talk much on the topic. All I can say is, you know yourself now, I converted to Islam, and I'm very happy at Islam. If one day we do a video, I can tell you the reason why I converted to Islam, the reason how I'm doing with Islam. But, you know, that's all I can say. You know what? I used to love the church. I used to get on my suit. I had a blue suit, two-piece suit, lovely suit, shine my shoes. It was all faith for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Go on.
Are we talking only about Christianity here, or are we talking about religion in general?
Religion in general.
Religion in general.
Okay. Because I feel like a lot of what I heard is around Christianity, and even you, Patrick, you're not mentioning your answer to that question in regards to Islam, for example. You answered it in regards to when you were going to church. So I think I was just trying to clarify that.
No, you're trying to put the pieces together.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, what are we talking about here? So
now that you're already there in the issue, so you might as well continue. What do you think does religion thrive through fear or faith?
I'm team both because I've seen both. So and I think my experience of church is quite different from, it is probably a bit different from yours, because I grew up, my mom is Catholic and my dad is Christian, but from an African take on Christianity. So it's a specific religion that's specific to our region, but that's using the Bible and that's based off of Christianity. So from a very young age, for me, it was never about a religion. It was about the spirituality and what you feel when you go into a church and all those things. So for me, the experience has never been through fear. It's always been through not even faith. For me, going to church has been always about the social experience of it. And as Patrick was saying, you enjoyed putting your suit, you enjoy the sense of community that you get there. Fred, you mentioned the music, the energy that you feel there. Like, to me, this is all a social experience of it. I have people who go into church and their sole reason why they go into church is because they don't want to go to hell. And my question is, and hell is basically death, because when you die, you don't know what's going to happen after. My question is, what if you're not afraid of that, of death? What happens? Do you still like believe in whatever you believe in, or do you just stay there and just live your life? And I've seen faith because my mom is definitely one of the people who go to who follow a religion for faith. My mom never mentioned hell to me. We don't talk about hell. My mom goes to church because she's like, oh, religion is just love. It's loving people. It's spending time with people, praying for world peace, praying for just the good, basically.
Positive.
Sense of community.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, I think both are possible, because I've seen people who are like, oh my God, I don't want to wear trousers. And you see it on Facebook. I don't know how Facebook, the Malawi side of Facebook is, but Ivorian side of Facebook, you have pastors every day issuing a list of what can get you to hell. So if you're a woman and you wear lipstick and you wear trousers and you have hair extensions, you're going to go to hell because these are the devil's tools. And so this is the fear factor. And then you can see people in the comment under it going like, oh my God, amen. Thank you, Pastor. You're preaching the truth.
And the fact that the African community is also a judgy community as well. You know?
Exactly. If you're an African person, and now I'm going to bring it back to myself, because I guess maybe because of my experience with both my parents being from different religion and me not kind of considering myself as belonging to one, I feel like my experience of religion is not an experience of religion, but it's more spirituality. When you say that in an African context, people think you worship water, you worship trees, you know, people all kinds of stuff.
That's true.
But that's the thing. There's this whole like African mentality that came with colonization, that everything that our ancestors were doing before, which was worshipping water or like being one with nature and stuff like that, has become the devil stuff. It's bad. You cannot do that. But I find myself being very fascinated with that, with Buddhism, with like all other kind of religions, just what the spiritual aspect of it is behind. And I feel like, again, religion is very restrictive, because some people would potentially find themselves in some aspects of Buddhist religion, for example, but their religion is telling them that if you stray from our church, you're gonna go to hell, or you're gonna die, or it's the devil's gonna snatch you and you're never gonna see your family again.
Fire on them.
You know what? You know what, there, Sam? That's a good thing you've asked me. That obviously converting to Islam, and what have I've seen. Actually, believe it or not, you guys, obviously I haven't told you this already. So you know, when you most times when you convert to something new, you always want to follow these pages where you get teachings. Believe it or not, I had an argument, and it was one of the days I came in home. There's a page I was just following. I just found some page, so it was interesting what I was reading there. But in that page, there's also this, you call them extremists. That's what somebody who's been guiding me in this journey as as a Muslim, told me that yes, we also have extremists here, the same as the Christian side. Believe it or not, there was a page on Facebook. I had to unfollow it because I even asked the question to the guy who published the page. I was like, do you have to tell us this every day? We know this guy every day was putting a picture of a dead body, different captions every day, but they were similar. It was always, if you, this is what happens if you don't play Fajr. That's one of the players, right? If you don't play this, if you don't go to the mosque, this is what happens. You're going to test death. Brings another video, or he brings videos of somebody has died. Oh, if you don't pray, if you don't respect your religion, if you don't dress the right way, if you don't give thanks to Allah, you're going to test this. For you to avoid testing this horrible death, you need to praise Allah. So it also is there in the Muslim community. In the Muslim community, they will tell you that it's extremists. I was even asking, believe it or not, I was having a chat with somebody from England. And the first day when I was like, you know what, she's like, why have you decided to leave Christianity and become? So I was explaining to her. Then she said, do you have any questions? I asked a question. I was like, can I ask you something? I'm not saying this as a joke, or I'm not trying to be one of those. Maybe somebody might be listening, but do you guys believe that doing the suicide bombers, like, do you guys support that? When you watch it, what do you say? As Muslims, do you sit there and say that's the right thing to do? Because they say if you die, you're going to meet 1,000 virgins out there who are going to service you or something. I was like, what's that about? She's like, look, there's people in the Islamic faith who take certain things from the Quran, right? They take them, put them together, they make these own to
manipulate people.
Yeah, they make these sub-religions, and they use fear in order to get people to come in and do those things, bomb places. So that's what also, believe it or not, that's what also you get in the Islamic way. They always tell you these are extremists, but it's the same as Christians, where they make you fear of something. So even in Muslims, I used to see this page every day, you're going to die. Somebody's going to test death. I even said, man, this is every day. I wrote to the guy, he never answered me, or he looked at the message, never answered. I said, do you have to write every day that if I don't play Fajr, I'm going to die? I know I'm going to die, but you don't have to tell me that every day.
So do you believe there's actually fear involved? After saying that, so now you go back.
Yeah, exactly.
Involved, yeah?
No. This is what I'm trying to say. You see,
but you basically explained to us that fear.
Yeah, I get what you. But you see, I get what you mean. But you see now, that's the thing. There's people, as some say, it is sort of a division, right? Some people, it's just faith. Believe it or not, even those some of those suicide bombers, it's faith. They just believe. I don't know if some people call it brainwash, but it's faith. They believe that if I do this, I'm going to be welcomed in heaven with blah blah blah.
I disagree.
There for me. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
So
no, you go ahead. Yeah.
Let's go back. You saying
I think Wantale has a point there.
We'll give it to you.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
I disagree because how are you going to do something because you believe this is what's going to happen, right? Like, how are you going to take your own life to believe that something is going to happen to you, something good will happen to you? No way.
After you die. That's
no way.
How can you do that to get good?
Faith.
You have to believe in something to kill yourself.
That is faith. You're just something assured, like you're hoping for it to happen.
You're telling me you're going to take your own life in the name of a faith, of something you believe in.
I mean, it's not rational to you because maybe there's nothing that you feel that strongly about. But
they believe they'll get something that they'll not see. That's basically the definition of faith.
That's fair enough. That is.
It's really. Can I just mention as well about Islam? Something that's interesting is the fact that, for example, the promise of the Virgin. I hear that a lot. So it's not even using fear anymore. It's using what? Lust? Or and lust, isn't lust supposed to be a sin? So how is your faith luring you to, or encouraging you to do things, or you humans interpret it as encouraging you to do something, because in the end your reward is that, and it's very
a multitude of lust.
Exactly. It's male focused as well. Because
exactly. Look at that. Yeah.
What happens if there's a female
What
suicide
happens?
bomber?
Exactly. What
I don't
happens
know.
if I decide to
72
Oh,
virgins as well.
that's sketchy. That's
Like,
So I
guys,
think
like,
it's very interesting the way humans have turned things.
that's like another one. Yeah, I don't
It's a
know. I
good
don't know
point.
if you guys know. You know, I know the one like for Jehovah's Witness. They say that there's only 100 and something thousand Jehovah's Witnesses that will go to heaven. So
we'll
I
just
see,
give it to you, Vida. Just go ahead.
Yeah,
Just give it to you.
I sit there. I see this guy said there's 105,000 Jehovah's Witnesses. If you're Jehovah's Witness, only 105,000 of them will go to heaven. And I was sitting there, I was like, so why do those guys still knock on people's doors, try to convert them into their church? If already 105, they must have 105 gone already.
I think there's a mathematical problem right there. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
think. I don't think it's 100.
That
How do
is
they get to
true.
that number?
I swear to
How do they
God,
get
it
to
was
that
a number. It was a number that when this guy explained to me, I was like, okay, so you're telling me at this point there's not enough of those people in your religion that have already died to that amount? Because like, what's the point of coming to recruit more? You know what I mean? I swear to God, and I thought for I swear, guys, believe you me, I thought about it for a second because I'm telling you, one day I was going to work and I met this guy, right? It's Jehovah's Witness, and the mistake I did is give him a number. This guy
Don't
was
ever give
ringing
them your
me,
number, man.
texting me, and if I even tell that right now I'm busy, I'll be off maybe Saturday in 2 weeks. He'll ring me that Saturday in 2 weeks. Or to come to your house.
They put you in their calendar, bro.
That's
I never
crazy.
see. The man was so detailed. There were two of them that were so determined to say, even if I tell, oh, I'll be busy for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so I went in 3 weeks. I'll say maybe Tuesday. Just to put him off. On the Tuesday after 3 weeks, I'll get a phone call. I say, yeah, we're around. We want to come and see you.
And they always come in twos, eh?
Yes, and I just gave him the chance to say, all right, look, we have to get away with this thing because this guy will ring unless I change my number. And he explained, I think he said 105,000 will always definitely go to heaven. And I was thinking that, I was like, you must have 105 already gone by now. Like, since the church started, I say they started years ago.
You know, realistically, it could be that kind of Jacob Zuma kind of thing. He doesn't know his numbers right. So, yeah. Forgive them.
You actually have a point there. Well, just to move on there, I'm gonna give it to Mpatso. What are your thoughts in this take?
Oof. Well, I don't know. Like all this talk, everyone's really punching really good points, and what I think is just religion, driving through faith, or what's the other word? Fear. I think the two actually play. Yeah, like Sam said, they actually, they do play a role. Like the both of the words do play a role in this situation, because then when you think about it, like growing up in an African household and being able to experience, like, you experience poverty in a different level, because then there is working class, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. You rank them up in that way, and when you rank them up in that way in Africa, we are in what we are in certain situations. So every family is striving to be great. They're striving to be in this level, and coming from a certain family, you be always praying to say, oh, I want to be, I want to have enough money to support blah 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 my family and everything. That is fear, that you don't want to fall off that ladder of success that you're pushing up and stuff, right? When it comes to faith, like you're hoping for that to happen, to say whatever is gonna be there is gonna be there for me, and definitely it's gonna happen, because then I'm constantly going to church and I'm constantly doing my part of work. So as they say, there's no food for a lazy man, right? So you're working towards your part to say, when I work so hard, I will get whatever I'm looking for in the future. Realistically, fear is what drives everybody nuts. Like, fear is what drives every human to the next level. Faith is also what drives every human to the next level. And in this situation, religion will always be there because these two situations clash a lot, because everybody is looking into surviving and living a longer life and a very successful life and a very amazing life through their hard work. And when something doesn't happen for you, you still go back and pray and hoping that something good happens for you.
Yeah, they got
So
that.
yeah, regardless of whatever is in that situation. So the two, faith and fear, really drive everything for you, and you can never separate them in certain situations, because then you know what, when you fall off fearing that you're not going to make it in life, and then you sit down and you're having that faith to hoping that you know what, this is going to be a bad issue, but when I'm going forward, everything's going to be all right. Like, you're actually giving yourself that assurance to be able to say, you know what, something really good is going to happen for me, and you're going back to praying. Like, it's funny how we're not all religious, but then there is only like an amazing situation whereby when you're like struck with fear and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, like you really have this God word in your mouth, like it's not supposed to be there, but someone else put it in there for you. Like, I don't know who put it in my mouth, because when I fear something, like when I'm about to fall, or like if I fall off in some situation, I say, oh my gosh, like in that situation, it's like there is always that fear and that faith running in the same sequence, and it's always driving me to the next step and next step and next step.
Yeah.
So when we talk about fear and faith, it's all together. We can say faith and fear are two things
They
that you cannot.
basically go hand in hand.
Yeah, you can't separate them. You can't
You can
separate them.
have the other without the. I think you
Yeah,
can have faith without. Can you?
yeah,
I don't know.
I think you
Everybody
can
has
have
their
faith
own
without
opinion.
fear.
But you can have fear without faith, is it?
yeah.
Because fear needs
That,
faith. For someone to actually believe there's something that's going to hurt them, they have to have that faith in them, is it?
that
So anyway,
is
just to cut it
like
short there, I think one that
yeah,
is gone already.
yeah.
Um,
At the moment,
there's a lot of points. It's a very big topic, as I would say. Everybody has an intake into this. We might end up doing a sermon over here because it's a very sensitive topic as well. Because everybody has their own experience, like the way Sam said, from her perspective, and then Patrick as well, from switching to Muslim, or V to there, and then Wantali. Wantali, before we go, would you like to put some intake into this, or we call
Um,
it a wrap?
well, listen, I think everyone covered, like, I was gonna cover the whole um fear is, say for example, when you don't make a contribution to a church, they go, oh, you're not going to get this when you die, sort of thing, and it's been covered already,
Mm.
but obviously where I stand, I think religion leans more on the fear side than the faith side, because every time you do something, everything you do is judged based on where you're going to end up, which is heaven or hell. There was a preacher who came out, I think the report came out again this year, but it was in 2005. A preacher said, look, the church has created the perception of heaven and hell, or the perception of hell, basically. Whereas they said, look, if you don't follow this, you go to hell. And it benefited the churches more in terms of tax and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Obviously, the church came out and said, no, you don't understand what you're saying. But, for me, I read from that and I thought, I've experienced the same thing. There's a day when I thought, I don't feel like going to church. And somebody comes to me and says, nah, if you don't go to church, you go to hell. So I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
let's go and do it. You know what I mean? So to me, I follow basic rules when it comes to religion, when it comes to faith. It's in the Bible, right? Jesus was asked, look, the disciples asked Jesus, said, look, we follow the 10 commandments, but look, what's the most important commandment? And Jesus said, look, the most important commandment is love, right? Love God with all your heart, right? And love your neighbor more than you love yourself. If you do that, you will follow all the 10 commandments. It covers all the commandments. If you do that, basically, yeah? For me, that's the answer. The answer is love. If you love someone, why should you fear? If if you have that feeling, why should you fear? If you love God, why are you going to fear going to hell? That's where the faith comes in. I'm team fear because of how we as people have driven religion. But I also believe that love will take us to where we need to be. That's what I believe.
That is true. I actually agree with you there because, not even because, I'll just say I'll agree with you just to cut it short and everything. Anyway, guys, those were very good points, and I actually learned quite a bit from this as well. It's very good to hear from everybody's perspective as well. So we are going to close out for today. So viewers, you know how we go. Please like, subscribe, and share. Comments in the comment section below. Whatever your thoughts, we shall respond if we have any of us have time to do so. But this is
always have time. We always have time,
and we're happy to have you again. So we're gonna say bye. Peace.
Holla at your boy.
That was really good.
Love for you.
I said, hey guys, I actually got the figure, guys. It's 144,000.
144,000 what? Oh,
people are gonna go to heaven.
Yeah.
I don't see myself on that list. Like that's a short list.
Say,
like.
based on their understanding of scriptures, such as in Revelation 14, verse 1 to 4, Jehovah's Witnesses believe that exactly 144,000 faithful Christians go to heaven to rule with Christ in the kingdom of God.
Well,
so what happens to everybody else?
Ain't nobody.
That's what I'm saying, man. So I ain't gonna lie.
So basically the topic of today is top 5 legendary artists in Africa.
Some people might not, how can I say this? Might not know him, but I would put Lucius Banda. Lucius Banda is our guy in Malawi. He's the guy. He's our Oliver Ntukuzi. He's our Mia Makeba. He's our Benefaz. That's Lucius Banda.
My number one is Fela Kuti from Nigeria. It's Fela.
Oh, what song is this?
One.
Oh, yeah, so many. Zombie. He has like so many songs.
Number 5 is Lady Smith, Black Mambazo, right?
Yes! Yes!
What was that?
That's that one. That's the potato saladi. The potato salad. It was like, you can go to the farm and play.
Hey, Tony. That's
what shall we do?
That's
Oliver Ntukuzi.
Yeah, Oliver Ntukuzi. So that's my playlist. Like,
just to add in a few there's the golden sounds. Zamina Mina Zangalewa. Even Shakira had to do something. We had to do something about
it. Yeah, something. Guys, DJ Cleo.
Yeah.